Okay.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Sorry for the slight delay. The game is on to an earnest start. Shasta Messi to start the game. I think by far his best play is Gatch, which is what he's going for, and it is comes as a double blessing, especially since he sets up his X for a fast score to follow up. Doko with a not so palatable rack, but you can spot a couple of good options for him. Puyo, for example, is a very solid option. Also, he could play something like Kuti, but I believe Toyo to be relatively better. You can see he has arranged it on his rack already.
26.
And down it comes. Sorry for that, folks. Yeah, as expected, Toyo comes down. That's an interesting play. I wonder if he considered Ouija. Ouija would have been an interesting play, but I think Wig is also good. A bit on the defensive side, but looks actually better than Ouija. Ouija exposes the 9-timer, would I say, prematurely. And in such a game as this, if something like that hits you, you can spend all game playing catch-up. Go for Doku. There weren't much viable options, and wrongly positioned V for Doko. If not, Viliakos could easily come down. Tachi goes with Dex. Solid play any day for him. I wonder if he considered doubles. It's really all of golf. I want to believe that ducks would have left a slightly more balanced track. Now he has a bingo. Several right now. After this opening by Doko. So we expect a bingo from Charles anytime soon. English comes down. Anagam Shingo.
$83.
Please, I think we should try and correct the player records. Doko is on 17-4, not Charles Tachi, so that we don't mislead our viewers. Who has one of those racks that won't play bingo? I think there's a relatively tough start for for Doko. And I would say he's doing the best that he can given the circumstances. I think Tachi is thinking of Jassy, but I hope he doesn't pull the trigger on that because it is going to, it would have been challenged off the board. So he makes the right decision by playing Jack, which is I would say it is his best move at the moment. So a bingo will come down for Doko right now. That should give him some fighting chances in the game, considering that Tachi is running away. Peleist is about to come down. Peleist for 88 points. And it's a bit interesting for Tachi, who has drawn into a voiceless rack. This is what someone like is what he did manage to take some decent score from it. Beautiful move from Tachi, given the circumstances. Could respond with zeal for 50 points. Game on. Chi continues to struggle with clunky tiles. I think this will give Doko the chance that he needs to possibly get into the game. Clunky tiles that can score reasonably well in a board like this. Wow, TV comes down. It gives Doko a much needed T float. We'll see the numerate come down very fast, like a rocket. Reminds me of my guys in Nigeria. Tachi continues to struggle with very little vowels, and Doko takes the lead for the first time in the game. But it's going to be a very short-lived lead as Doko pulls into the lead once more. Sorry, Tachi pulls into the lead once more.
Right.
Wondering if it was wise to have added S to worms. Number one, it announces to your opponent that you have another S. Number two, it kind of restricts your chances at possibly playing a bingo, hooking the worms again. But in all, it's a pretty close choice. But I personally might not have added the S, especially for the singular reason that more or less announces to your opponents that you have the last S. It is not something that you would want to do. It's kind of good to keep your opponent guessing as much as you can. Considering that he had been struggling with consonants think it was, there's also merit in having added it, giving him 3 extra points and also giving him more access to the bag. Doko trades by 18 points and he has a relatively difficult rack, and with it, a difficult decision to make. Will he go for his highest scoring move, or yeah, board comes down? That will give Tachi a very easy, cheap play.
32.
Oh, he decides to play it the other way. I'm sure he was already fixated there, or maybe he's controlling the E hoop for numerated, because E easily hooks numerated for enumerated, and is a relatively easy bingo lane. Doko has arranged the Moi. I'm sure he will drop it. Okay, he has changed it to media. It's likely going to come down for enumerated.
That's 3.
How much?
Guys are playing well. Damn well.
Three.
I still feel that QI forming BI was a better move for Tachi a while ago, as opposed to QIN that he played. Beautiful move from Tachi, given the circumstances.
$21.
Doko has found himself both Fs, F to hook, IF of media is a very, very valuable tile at this point in time. Tachi has come with the last blank, but with the board the way it is, he has to find a way to open the board. If not, the blank can, in very few circumstances as this, turn out to be a liability rather than an advantage. If he doesn't find a way to open the board, it could basically mean that he'll be playing with 6 tiles for some while, because in a closed board as this, the especially with singular point tiles. The blank can be blank. The advantage of the blank might not be very much. But the problem is right now Doko has a bingo on his rack, so Tachi opening the board might just mean that he will get hit with a bingo and it might be very difficult for him to come back from. These are the moments where champions distinguish themselves. A lovely attempt at opening the board by Tachi, but we know for sure that if he goes ahead with that, Doko is going to block it decisively while scoring reasonably well for a blocking play. Thinking if I was Tachi and I needed to open this board, what will I do? I'm thinking of a move like VAU, forming BAH. There's just one more T left unseen. If your opponent doesn't have that T, there's nothing he can do about that opening. If you're lucky enough, you can get a bingo down there the next turn. So, I think VAU will be, not just because I'm saying that Doko doesn't have the T, but in a game like this, when you are trailing, it looks like a marginal lead, but if you do not do something quick enough, the game would soon go out of control. If he spots the move of VAU, it is going to be a very, very difficult one for Doko, because he basically cannot block it, and it will most likely just be with a blank and S left with Tachi and the pool of unseen tiles we can see. It is almost going to be a given that he comes out with a bingo that cannot be blocked by Doko right now. So, for those of you rooting for Tachi, you have to pray that he spots that move. And those rooting for Doko, you have to pray the opposite. Because it will this is what I was trying to allude to a few games ago. There are points in a game where you need to take your time to come up with a way forward. You don't just play because because it is your turn to play. As you sit down, put on your thinking cap, and it appears that my guy has, literally has a red thinking cap. Put on a thinking cap and come up with a way forward. That is what champions do. And see that Tachi is thinking of playing AIN. I'm presuming under BIUN. This is another solid try. I think I like this also. But I'm pretty sure that Doko is not going to allow it to see the light of day. But the good thing with this kind of move is that by the time Doko possibly blocks with OR or whatever, another opening now comes in front of using the V, something like VOE. VOE opening would have no response from Doko. It is now time for Doko to put on his own thinking cap. I am liking Uchi's chances in this game. In retrospect, it would seem as though, considering that there was a T missing, it would seem as though this UN opening is a better one to the VAU opening. Because the thing with the VAU opening is that once your opponent has the T, he easily blocks it and plays a whole lot of tiles to make it seemingly impossible for you to open the board in another way. And see what Doko is thinking about. Doko is thinking about making a counter opening himself. Fourier is a move he's thinking about. The problem with Fourier is that Tachi will just need to play bingo, nominating his blank as a C, for example. Coadis, for example, kills off the game and confirms a win for him, without the possibility of Doko being able to drop a bingo, even if he is lucky enough to get one after Fourier. It's looking very grim for Doko. I still feel his best chances are blocking this yen first of all. Maybe just OR or AR and hope for the best. Tachi might feel the lead isn't too far and might decide to, because after OR, the guaranteed winning sequence for Tachi would be that he plays VOE. So he would need to see the idea behind VOE for him to be able to nick this. Still decision time for Doko. He's going to take his time to look this from every possible scenario. This is not a time to be in a hurry. Perfect play from both players. I think this is easily won by Richie. And that perfect play, especially from Tachi, would involve seeing the move VOE and especially identifying the rationale behind it. Who is investing his time to consider all his options. He just has to. There's no need to play hurriedly. You're not in a hurry anywhere. I think he's still deeply considering the ramifications of Fourier. Good thing with Fourier is if the opponent is not able to play a bingo that has the blank as a C or a V, gives you some decent chances of being able to respond with a bingo of your own, considering the unseen tiles. But we already know that it is possible for Tachi to call his blank a C and play Coadis in response to Fourier.
Do you have me in 358?
Yes.
CO3.
If he plays hurriedly,
Yes.
he might just miss. But with the way he has played so far, he doesn't seem to me like someone who would be in a hurry to pull the trigger. Loco still thinking. Yeah. Comes to the same conclusion that we came to a while ago. Block this first and let's see how it goes. So right now, Tachi has to see the idea behind VOE. That is a guaranteed win for him.
Checking.
Yeah, he has a setup already. But another way to look at it is, what if it so happens that after VOE, Tachi doesn't have a bingo that drops? If he doesn't have a bingo that lands, then it can be a very interesting endgame. Loco is off his seat. I think probably maybe he seriously needs a bathroom break. Who wouldn't need a bathroom break in this kind of tense game? He has played very well to get himself back into this game. Then he's faced with a possibly losing endgame. Bathroom break is coming at a very good time for Tachi, because it affords him more time to come up with a clearer path to victory.
Okay.
More time to consider as many variables as possible, if not all the variables.
15.
Tachi goes for NID instead. This doesn't look too good. Ko now has the option of ignoring him and yeah. I will ignore him if he has a bingo, if he's lucky enough to have a bingo let him play.
That is him.
All right.
3-2.
And as it stands, Tachi doesn't have a bingo to the D. I would want to think that Tachi bungled this game. NID was a very poor play. He set up VOE, which was the idea behind the win that we were discussing earlier on. It is still not over, but it's a bingo out of it. Toko is looking as though Toko has some chances. The same with VAU or VOE poses, it will pose some issues for Loco. VAU is 14 plus an outplay. 14 brings Tachi to 382. That is 12 points behind Doko. It's not a question of if Doko is unable to finish his tiles, which I think will be the case here. Tachi could finish and win relatively with a very, very narrow way. Also considering ATES. For Tachi. Forming TUPABATIS. That seems like a move that scores well also. And he easily finishes out next. Yeah, I think ATES also does it for Tachi. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 26. 26 draws him level. And then what does? I think he needs to add the S. Or he adds the blank, something like eaten. EATEA. That is also also do the job. Not sure leaving it at 8 does the job.